Absolutely gorgeous day out here. Enabling outcomes. This has been one of our secret weapons for the better part of a couple decades. And we're giving it away to you here for free. Not that it's like some big super secret here, but what do we mean by enabling outcomes? Well, first, let's talk about the problem. The problem is most companies, people, salespeople, whatever, they're pumping their thing. So, for example, you get on a call and what do? You meet somebody, what do? They're pumping their thing, like shoving it down your throat. Ain't nobody got time for that. Nobody wants that. What people actually want is an outcome, right? And the real question is along the things that have to happen, all the stuff leading up to getting that outcome that they want, they have to do a lot of things. They got to pull in other people, they got to pull in third party providers, they got to do a bunch of communication, they got to buy stuff, they got to like do stuff. And then finally, after a lot of like convincing and work and yada yada negotiation, you're finally at a place where you reach an outcome. In the business world, it's pretty easy. That outcome is, well, cash money. And in the consumer world, oftentimes it's really just save time or make time fly. We built a whole company around this called Evolite back in the day, around the mobile launch. And so consumers want to feel good, they want to escape, they are tired. So you could call it lazy or tired. They just don't want to do stuff. So Uber, right? Like I don't have the capabilities, like food delivery, grocery delivery, daycare, cleaning supplies, lawn work, maintenance, right? Like home repair stuff, putting together IKEA furniture. So those are all examples. In the enterprise world and a lot of this AI stuff and professional services conversation, there's this thing going around these days in February 2026, like, is SaaS dead? Is AI killing SaaS? And you're getting too lost in the like, are hammers dead? Are screwdrivers and wrenches dead? Now, if you're using a wrench to pound in a nail to build a house, it's not going to work very well. And that group down the street that's got sort of air guns, like nail guns, and they're just going click, 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 and they can like put a house up in a week. The frames, like, versus months and months or maybe a year when you're trying to figure out why that wrench won't work, then it's likely that the folks using the air gun is probably going to get more work because they can do more faster. AI is just an air gun versus like trying to hammer stuff with a wrench, which is what we've been doing for a long time. So, but what doesn't change is the outcome. Still want a house, still need a house to live in, still need to get that house built, want to build it, a little faster, a little cheaper, so the people buying that house can afford it. That'd be cool, right? Especially in the world we live in today where houses like just to get into one is a cool $1 million. Who has the money for that? First time home buyers, like all time low. But we digress. So this idea of outcomes, right? So like your service really is an outcome. The problem is like too many people are marketing like, oh, we'll just like get you growth. But the reality is what I'm willing to pay for is closed won customers, not just a lead at the top of the funnel. Like you pay Meta and Google a lot of money just to try to get leads, try to get somebody to click on your stuff and buy your stuff, but they haven't been good enough to deliver you an outcome. But that's what they're working on. I mean, that's why Meta is sinking so much money into super intelligence and AI. What do you think they're going to use it for? You give them a budget and they give you more money back in the form of purchases. If you could deliver 100% purchase conversion rate, everyone in the world would give you money. There's the problem. Solve that problem. Right? Like one of our last videos, we already talked about it in the like what to do when you lose hope. We gave you the product mechanics for that. So you can win very easily if you deliver an outcome. But the problem there is folks aren't confident. They don't feel like they can deliver an outcome. It's risky. You don't have control over things, right? So let's say your company, like, I got to close a deal for your company. Well, how good is your product? Can I change your product? Like, how's your brand? How's your values? How much crap do I have to go in and fix so that I can then accurately and in a good way take your thing to market and deliver that sale? In some cases, companies go bankrupt because they didn't figure it out and they lost their core values, their mission, their thing that made them so special. And so then it turns into bankruptcy, and you got to bring in turnaround artists who are better at this. And so even storied bellwether brands, this happens to. The average life expectancy for a Fortune 500 company now has gone from 100 years to 50 years down to 20. It's almost down to like 15 years now. So like you became a big company, start the clock, you got a decade and a half, which means you've got like maybe one, two, three CEOs if you're lucky. So it's like just profit pools develop, go away. And if you don't stay on the edge and innovate and deliver a better outcome for your customers, not a better product or service, the product or service helps deliver that outcome. That's why folks who make really good products or services deliver that outcome better. That's the definition of making great products or services, is I can consistently, reliably, and with enough margin left over deliver my customers an outcome that they couldn't get on their own, and we shrink the time that they could do it in and increase the probability that they can do it. So what's the point? The point is you got to think about how are you and your thing delivering an outcome. And when you take that message to market, it should echo that in truth. The greatest ads tell the truth, right? The greatest ads tell you how your thing is delivering your outcome. I do, and we do, and our product does 1, 2, 5, 17, and 23. And it took us a lot of time to figure that out because we screwed up on 8, 13, and 14. And we figured out that those were the 5 things that mattered. And so we did those things. And when we put them together and put it in that way, we've now seen customers 1 through 27 within 3 to 6 months. You know, everyone has a little variability. Within 3 to 6 months, we've got a 75% chance that we're going to deliver that thing for you. That's just facts. That's just evidence. So, you know, give us a shot. If not, no biggie, because we've got a waiting list over here that's this long. So, you know, it's not selling anymore. It's just providing evidence and providing information to a person who's like, oh, yeah, actually, like, that's exactly what I'm looking for. And it's really hard and I can't figure it out. And all these people are just talking about mayhem and nonsense. So that's the structure. That's the framework. So I challenge you, please figure out what outcome you're actually delivering and then work backwards and for who and what and why, and then work backwards into that product and that service. And then the pricing and all the other stuff becomes super easy because then it's like, oh yeah, I'm going to charge you 10% of the thing that you get. Yeah, I'll do that all day. Like, let's get going. Like, what are we waiting for? Zero risk? Let's go. All right. That's it. Cool. I hope you take it and use it with good health and in good tidings. Toodaloo.